No phones, no paper letters, no internet. Yet messages traveled across forests, mountains, and plains, sometimes hundreds of miles. How imagine living in a world without instant communication? If danger was coming, if trade partners needed news, if alliances had to be maintained, information had to move. For indigenous nations across North America, communication wasn't optional. It was survival. One of the simplest and most powerful systems was signal fire. On high ground, smoke could be seen for miles. Different patterns could signal different meanings. One column, multiple bursts, continuous smoke. It wasn't random. It was coded knowledge shared within communities. But not all messages could be reduced to smoke. For detailed information, human runners were used. Some nations trained messengers who could travel long distances quickly. In certain regions, relay systems existed. One runner covering a section, then passing the message to the next. Speed depended on endurance and knowledge of terrain. Messages were often memorized, not written down. This required extraordinary mental discipline. Oral traditions were strong and precise. Words were not casual. They carried responsibility. A trained messenger understood that accuracy mattered. In some regions, sound carried messages. Drums could travel across valleys. Rhythmic patterns could alert nearby communities. It wasn't a language like modern Morse code, but it could signal urgency, gatherings, or danger. Sound became a tool of coordination. Not all communication was spoken. Symbols were sometimes left along trails. Carved signs, stacked stones, marked trees. These could indicate direction, territory, or warning. To outsiders, they might seem invisible. To those who understood them, they were clear messages. Remember the trade routes we discussed earlier? Those weren't just for goods. They were information highway. Noobs traveled with traders. Stories moved alongside tools and resources. Communication spread gradually but consistently across vast regions. Communication wasn't about convenience. It was about security, about alliances, about knowing when herds were moving, about preparing for seasonal change. Information shaped decisions, and decisions shaped survival. Sometimes, history portrays indigenous societies as isolated or disconnected. But communication networks show something different. Organized, coordinated, intelligent. Technology doesn't always mean machines. Sometimes it means knowledge. Across forests and plains, through smoke, footsteps, and memory, messages moved. Long before modern communication existed, information already connected a continent